Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So a couple of things are bugging me quite a lot on the markets this morning and yesterday, specifically on the S&P 500. So be sure to watch that video. But if we look at the Dow, so we have a range. Okay, there's no other way to explain it. Let's not sugarcoat it or anything else like that. We have a range. This here was the previous low. We are flirting with it at the moment. Now, a lot of times when you're flirting with a level like this, we see we've got 3 attempts or 4 attempts at it. It does look like a bit of a rounding bottom here. You can see low, lower low, higher low. But look at the top. This is the one that you need to pay attention to. If I just get my tools done. We are below the 155 EMA on the 8 hour, and we are rejecting it, and we are forming a series of lower highs. So if you look at that and you put that together, that is starting to look like a flat bottom triangle. Look at the oscillators. They are easing off. They're sort of heading back to the upside, but we're not getting much traction. We're not moving towards the upside with the oscillators. So we do have diversions here. So yeah, everything, if you look at it from a bullish perspective, especially in the longer term trend, we've got diversions on the 8 hour. We're off a level. This is an area to be buying. So there's a lot of sort of buyers in here, but it's not sustaining itself. It's not moving to the upside. So as the oscillators start getting to the upside and we start drifting lower, that just reinforces that pattern there. Anyway, the 3 hour, you can see this week has been big up, big down, big up, big down, big up, big down, big up. And our oscillators are pretty much just in a ranging pattern. So I'm still very cautious. I'm not really interested in being in on this at the moment because it can flip either way. Now, get down to the hour, and this is where it starts becoming very interesting. So this is the longest period that we have been below the 155 EMA on the hour in quite some time. Okay, we do often, we drop below it. You can see here we dropped below it. It was 2 days basically, and on the 3rd day we sort of broke through it. And it was, you could see the divergence between the moving averages. So when you see this kind of stuff, then you know you're coming up to a level, you can start buying with confidence, and you're looking for the crossover. But when you get this, you can see it sort of builds diversions, moves up, drops, builds diversions, moves up, drops. So it's not getting above the 155. And that in itself is telling. So for me, it is sit on hands. I'm not really interested in shorting this market just yet. But I am starting to lean towards that. So right now, I'd want to see a lower low. And the weekly chart is going to be telling. You can see we've got pretty much no movement on the weekly chart at the moment. So if we get a weekly close below previous week's low, and that is pretty much, let's just put this level on there. So this section here is the previous week. You can see there it is there. So that's 34,608. So we get a weekly close below that. We are going to end up with, I think, a pretty rapid move down, start aiming for some of these gaps to the downside, and possibly, ladies and gentlemen, possibly start that bigger move down that we're all expecting. So who knows? I think at the moment it is in no man's land. There are no buyers, there are no sellers. This is really just algorithms trying to influence price right now. We all know we need a bit of a reset. We're looking for that reset. A lot of the stocks can't sustain themselves at the levels that they are, just overvalued completely. So yeah, it's a very interesting setup. I think we're sort of stuck in the middle of this range, and this range has got a sloping top. So it's a triangle, but we are still stuck in the middle of it. You can see that. You can eyeball it by yourself. You can see from the bottom to the top, and look at your oscillators also grouping the inside. If you're watching this with the Bollinger Band, you would see a bit of a Bollinger Squeeze coming into this as well, which also indicates some kind of explosive move. So what you may find today is some, I can't say profit taking, I suppose, unless there have been some shorts holding from the top here, and they get some profit. They take profit. But I think what you're going to find is another attempt at this low, and it is a weekly low, 34,608. If we close below that on the weekly, then next week we can start looking at where we're going to the downside. But anyway, for me, it is still sit on hands because we are sideways. I'm not really keen on this because it could just flip and break these trend lines to the upside, and then all of a sudden get crossovers and start getting some bullish price action as well. Anything can happen in this market, and the overall trend is up, so just keep that in the back of your mind. So anyway, not much help for anybody, I don't think, but hopefully some insight there for you. We'll catch up with you next week on Monday morning. Cheers for now.